Have you ever woken up in a cold sweat in your favorite tank top and asked yourself, is Die Hard really a classic Christmas movie? Well, we here at ScreenRant aren't scared of asking the big questions. So grab a little bit of eggnog, put on your dirtiest vest, and get comfortable, because we're gonna settle this once and for all.
Welcome to the party, pal!
So, let's start with the case for the defense. YouTube videos are a pretty fair and democratic system, after all. Our first point of order, the movie's location and time of year. It's a Christmas party at a Christmas time, so that sets a pretty solid foundation for the argument. Sure, just because a movie takes place at Christmas time doesn't make it a Christmas movie, but it also doesn't hurt. And I mean, come on guys, this movie is a very Christmassy movie. The whole thing unfolds at a Christmas party. The hero is coming home to see his family for the holidays. There are Christmas songs all over the soundtrack. Christmas is referenced frequently in the dialogue.
Merry Christmas!
John McClane wraps a frickin' gun in Christmas paper. A lot of people like to argue that Die Hard is absolutely not a Christmas movie. But this thing is absolutely dripping with festive cheer. It's soaked in holiday spirit. It's drenched in good tidings. But it goes deeper than that too. Think of all the great Christmas stories. A Christmas Carol, Home Alone, Scrooged, The Santa Claus, It's a Wonderful Life. All those movies that give you a warm glow and make you feel like a kid again. They're all about people who make mistakes. And through the magic of the holidays, they manage to make up for those mistakes, become better people, and reunite with their families.
Am I right?
You're amazing. You figured this all out already.
So let's take a look at Die Hard. John McClane is coming to visit his family for Christmas. He hasn't seen his kids in a while. He and his wife are not on good terms. They basically start fighting right when he gets to Nakatomi Plaza. But then they get caught up in a crazy adventure. And by the end of the movie, John McClane has managed to fix some of his mistakes and become a better person. And his reward? He's reunited with his family. It's a classic Christmas trope. Okay, so let's not think about how badly he screws up over the course of the rest of the series. Sure, he and Holly are fully divorced by Die Hard with a Vengeance, but hey, people make the same mistakes over and over again. Doesn't make them a bad person, it's just we're all human, all right? Get over it. Looking purely at the first Die Hard, there's a very clear theme of repentance and making amends, which slots this movie really neatly within a lot of other Christmas classics. You could even call John McClane a kind of Scrooge character, who's very smug and condescending to his limo driver in the beginning, but then he learns to appreciate Argyle by the end. You know what else John McClane learns the value of? Violence.
It's okay, I'm a cop.
And I'm sure you'll agree, ladies and gentlemen of the invisible jury, that violence is as Christmassy as turkey, mulled wine, and passive-aggressive arguments around the Christmas-themed napkin-laden dinner table, okay? Let's break it down. Die Hard is about a single individual, outnumbered, alone, and desperate, who has to defend a building against thieves. He uses his ingenuity and the element of surprise, sets various traps, defeats the bad guys, and is reunited with his family. The whole thing is extremely violent. Hold on, sorry, did I say Die Hard? I meant Home Alone. That's the plot of Home Alone, man! And nobody in their right mind would say that's not a Christmas movie, would they? Would ya? I thought not. I rest my case. Except I don't. I have some bombshell closing arguments, but you'll have to stick around for that. For now, let's hear the case for the prosecution. So take it away, prosecution variant of me. Thank you, defense variant. Let's get down to it. Alright, for a lot of people with Christmas movies, you know them when you see them. Think of Home Alone, The Santa Claus, Christmas Carol, Elf. They feel like Christmas movies. Christmas is essential to how they function. It runs right through them, like through Santa's freakish candy cane skeletal system. Seriously, that guy's biology is a nightmare. But Die Hard is, above anything else, an action movie. One of the best ever. It's got emotional moments in it, for sure, but it's really all about the thrills and the tension and that sweet, sweet violence, baby. Necks get broken. People get blown up and shot with machine guns and thrown down stairs and hung from chains and dropped off buildings. This ain't Jingle All the Way. Although Jingle All the Way might have benefited from a few more broken necks, if you ask me. And yes, I can hear you asking me. I can hear it all. And while Die Hard is obviously set at Christmas, you can say the same about most Shane Black movies, from Lethal Weapon to Iron Man 3. And those aren't exactly Christmas movies, right? Christmas is more of a backdrop. It's really just a bit of visual dressing to liven up the action scenes. Maybe it's something you use to bring out the characters' emotions a little, but it's not essential. You could quite easily write a version of Die Hard in the middle of July and nothing would fundamentally change. There could still be a party, and John could still be coming back to see his family, and the story would unfold pretty much the same way. And here's a fun fact, Die Hard actually was first released in July, in the summer of 1988. Clearly the studio wasn't planning on it becoming a Christmas classic. Okay, but sure, I can hear you screaming through your phone. Yes, sure, you're right. Okay, Holiday Inn was released in the summer. White Christmas was released in October. They're both Christmas classics. What do you want from me? Movie studios don't know anything. But skipping back to the violence, you can indeed make the argument that a lot of Christmas movies have violence and dark themes. It's a Wonderful Life deals with mental illness. The Santa Claus literally has Santa fall off a roof in the first 20 minutes and die. And Home Alone is a great example of violence in a Christmas movie, but the violence is presented in a way that makes it very family-friendly and slapsticky. If it was presented realistically, Harry and Marv would be dead within the first 5 minutes. Let's be honest, there's no version of Die Hard that you could show to children. Not even the most sanded down, sanitized edit of the movie would be appropriate enough to put on at 4 p.m. in the middle of Christmas Day for little Jimmy while the parents get drunk.
Yippee-ki-yay, Mr. Falcon.
And again, yeah, I can hear you. Would you stop shouting at me? A Christmas movie doesn't have to be suitable for children, I know. Little Jimmy probably shouldn't be watching Bad Santa or the upcoming Violent Night with David Harbour. Adults need festive entertainment too. But counterpoint, Christmas is ultimately an all-ages affair, right? We want everyone to feel welcome, from your bloodthirsty 19-year-old cousin who's into explosives and 4chan, to your grandma who only remembers Bruce Willis from Moonlighting, to little Jimmy who's like, Bruce who? And Die Hard is packed with bad language, murder, and even some substance abuse.
Is that a lot of you have just forgotten what the true spirit of Christmas is all about.
There are more F-bombs in this movie than your mom's kitchen after she burns the turkey. And the treacherous Ellis is introduced enjoying a little bit of, I can't say it or else this video would get demonetized, but let's just say he's having a white Christmas.
What?
Sure, your mom has a few extra bottles of Christmas wine in the kitchen, but if you saw her enjoying anything stronger than that, you'd probably have something to say about it.
Yeah, I hear you.
And according to the Die Hard wiki, there are 23 different deaths in this movie. If 23 people died in your mom's kitchen on Christmas Day, that would pretty much ruin the festivities, would it not? Would it not? But if you'll indulge me for a moment, let's get historical. George Washington crossed the Delaware during the Revolutionary War on Christmas and proceeded to kill British Allied forces the next day on December 26th, which turned the tide of war in the favor of the Americans. If that hadn't happened, the United States might have never existed, and then Die Hard would have never been made, and then nobody would have been able to enjoy it on Christmas. So, using the transitive property, historical Christmas bloodshed paved the way for the world as we know it today. So, what am I saying? Murder is Christmassy? Wait, I thought that was the case for the prosecution. No further questions, Your Honor. I cede the floor to myself. Thanks, myself. Here's something to consider. Maybe Die Hard is a Christmas movie just because so many people believe it's a Christmas movie. Kind of like how people believe in Santa Claus. It's true. Literally millions of people are watching Die Hard on Christmas. And I'm not just making that number up. That comes directly from the Dish Network. And if you can't trust the Dish Network, who the hell can you trust? The television provider surveyed its viewers and found that 2.4 million people watched Die Hard during the holiday season, and 1.3 million people watched Die Hard on Christmas Eve. And you don't watch a movie on Christmas Eve unless it's very Christmassy. But sure, millions of anonymous viewers are wrong. They don't know what makes a Christmas movie. You don't trust them, and you probably think JFK Jr. is still alive. Well, let's ask the guy that wrote the movie. That's right, ladies and gentlemen of the jury. I call upon my expert witness, writer Stephen E. D'Souza. He's of the opinion that Die Hard is a Christmas movie. And he actually makes a pretty compelling case that it's more of a Christmas movie than the towering classic of the season, the Bing Crosby starring White Christmas. Why? Well, Die Hard takes place entirely on Christmas, while only the first and last scenes of White Christmas do. Also, Die Hard has 4 Christmas songs on the soundtrack, and White Christmas only has 2. And as we've already heard, there are 23 on-screen kills in Die Hard. But White Christmas features an on-screen depiction of the Battle of the Bulge, in which, let me just check my notes, 26,000 people died. Also, it kind of snows at the end of Die Hard, and John's wife is named Holly. The defense rests.
I told you.
Okay, so the debate has been fierce. We've all said things we can't take back, but we need a verdict. So we've tallied the votes, we've crunched the numbers, we ran it all through an algorithm and then back through the same algorithm and then forward into a separate algorithm. And in this envelope, we have the definitive answer to the question, is Die Hard really a Christmas movie? Let's find out. Okay, it says here, The holidays are a time of goodwill to all people. There is room at the table for everyone of every faith and viewpoint, including people who think Die Hard is a Christmas movie and people who think it is not a Christmas movie. Okay? The answer is not important. What's important is that we had fun asking the question. Are you kidding me? What the hell is that?
You don't like the way I do things? Fine. I quit.
Happy holidays from the team here at ScreenRant. We hope you have a great time sharing in holiday traditions like catching up with family, exchanging gifts, violently foiling heists, and pulling bits of glass out of your bare feet. Or is that just Christmas with my family?